are you thinking of using investment crowdfunding to raise money? I am a huge fan of investment crowdfunding as a way to raise money for your business, but there are some things to look out for. It is possible that certain traps can happen that can result in you actually losing money in your business if you use investment crowdfunding to raise money from investors. I'm Jenny Kassan. I'm an attorney and capital raising coach, and thank you so much for joining me today. So, number one thing that can happen that could cause you to lose money if you're raising money on an investment crowdfunding platform, there are some platforms that charge fees in different ways, and they're not always totally transparent about how the fees work. And if the platform is charging fees to your investors, sometimes that can be very off-putting to investors. The investors often would rather not pay a fee if they're already investing in your business. That's going to really eat into their return on investment. So I would recommend not using a platform that charges fees to your investors, because that can result in you losing money because you're going to lose investors. And it's possible that you won't even reach your goal because it will be off-putting to investors. And you need to really ask, because some platforms actually don't disclose the details on that part of it. Number two is compliance issues. So, of course, I'm a lawyer, so I'm going to talk about legal compliance, but it is very important. So, when you're raising money using regulation crowdfunding, you're offering an investment opportunity, which legally speaking is a security, which means your offering is regulated under securities law. And even though regulation crowdfunding makes it easier in some ways to offer an investment opportunity to the public and have many, many people come in and invest, and there isn't some really onerous process where you're going back and forth with the securities regulators on all of your documents, you still do have to comply with the law. And the law is quite extensive. And some platforms will not always tell you all the things you need to do to make sure that you're complying with all the rules about what you have to do to prepare for crowdfunding, what you have to do while you're doing crowdfunding, what you're allowed to communicate, how you're allowed to communicate, and then what you have to do after your campaign is over. If you don't do compliance correctly, you are really opening yourself up to potentially losing a lot of money, maybe even more money than what you raised on the platform. Because if you break these rules, your investors have the right to sue you and to demand their money back, plus penalties and all of that. So be sure that when you do use regulation crowdfunding, take it seriously. It is a highly regulated activity, raising money from investors. And don't necessarily rely on the platform to tell you how to comply, because the people you're dealing with may be more like salespeople or customer service people. They may not be lawyers. So make sure that you really understand the rules of compliance before you do regulation crowdfunding, and stick to those rules throughout the whole process. The third way you can lose money if you're raising money using investment crowdfunding has to do with the fact that you don't have total control over the process. So I'll give you an example of what happened to me. I actually raised money on an investment crowdfunding platform several years ago. And we started, several weeks before we were ready to launch our campaign. And we told the platform, there's going to be this really big event, and we want to be able to announce the fact that we're raising money on the platform at this event and have people at this event be able to invest that day. And so it's really important to us that this campaign launch by this day. And we told them that, and we did everything we were supposed to do, but they didn't get their act together, and so we were not able to launch on that day. Luckily, we still raised a fair amount of money, but I'll never know how much money we lost because we were not able to launch on this day where we had this huge captive audience of potential investors. So these are three ways that you can actually lose money if you don't do your investment crowdfunding campaign correctly, and if you don't vet your investment crowdfunding platform to make sure that they really know what they're doing and that they're going to give you the service you need to be successful. So please keep these things in mind when you're raising money, and feel free to share any questions or comments in the comment section below. There's actually many things that can go wrong when you're raising money from investors because of all these complicated rules and all these different traps for the unwary. So I would love to hear any questions you have about that. And if you need more tips on how to raise money from potential investors in a way that's going to let you stay true to your goals and values and vision, check this video out here. And if you would like to see a full playlist of other videos that may be helpful, check out this playlist. All right, thank you. Have a great day.